Hey guys, William here. So, sorry I didn't post for so long. I've been busy. The Lord has been doing a new thing in my life. Um, I'm finally out of mom and dad's house. But anyways, I want to talk about something. So, last night, my brother and our roommate were traveling down I-24 at about 90 miles an hour, and while they're going 90, hopefully all the way over in the left-hand lane, because that's best for. But anyways, they're going 90 miles an hour, and somebody cuts them off. I don't just mean get in front of them. No, they straight up cut them off. Like, nope. I don't know if they use a turn signal or not. Probably not. Which, guys, use your turn signals. Because it's just safer for the rest of us. I keep getting distracted. Anyways, so this causes them to swerve and whatnot, go all over the place. And this is my brother's fifth brush with death, near-death experience. You know, he's always been in dangerous situations, but each time the Lord provides for him. And in fact, this then sparked a whole discussion with he and my roommate, or our roommate and I, and I brought up this verse, and I wish that I could have talked on it further last night with him, but essentially it's Romans 8:28. It says, "And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, and to them," and this is the important part, "and to them that are called according to his purpose." And that doesn't just mean those that love God. Yes, it includes them, but that latter part, those that are called according to his purpose. Because we know that God does not call the qualified. No. He qualifies the called. Because our roommate then started going, "Well, what about this? What about when this happened to me and that?" I said, he was there. But sometimes he allows things to happen so that you can have a testimony later on. All things work for the good of those that love God and those that are called according to his purpose. Right? Things will happen in life. And we can either turn to God and say, "Thank you for allowing me to have this thing to go through. And thank you for allowing me to have this experience to tell other people about." Or we could say, "No, you let me suffer." And basically, God, He will cause things to happen to let people come closer to Him. It's a lot like with Job and with Lazarus. Lazarus died, right? And both his sisters Martha and Mary were like, "Lord, if you had only been here, he would not be dead." And Jesus told both of them, well, he told Mary, he said, "Do you believe in, he said to her, "Do you believe that your brother will rise again?" And she said, "Yes, I do believe that he will rise again in the resurrection of the last day." And he says to her, "I am the resurrection," right? And he tells all of them, including his disciples, this happened so that God may be glorified. Because he rose Lazarus from the dead in front of all of them. That more people will be drawn to him and therefore would be saved. God will sometimes let bad things happen so that out of it a good thing can flourish. And again, look at Job. Satan said, "What about your servant Job? He only serves you because all you've given him." And God's like, "I'm going to prove you wrong. All right, fine. You can take away all that he has, but don't harm him physically." Right? And then he has all his stuff taken. Right? And then next thing, "See, I'm telling you, God, he's only serving you because of what you give him." God's like, "Okay, fine. Here, how about this? Hurt him physically, but don't kill him." And then, after all that, Job is still faithful to God. But basically, God will allow bad things to happen so that good things can come from it. Because if you look at the end of Book of Job, like in the final 4 chapters, his family's dead, he's covered in boils head to toe, and his friends are bickering with him and leave him. And he starts talking with God, "But my righteousness and all this," and God's like, "Well, hold on. Your righteousness is as filthy rags compared to me." And then he's like, "You know what, Lord, you're right. But I still thank you and I still love you." And out of all that, Job got twice what he lost. So basically, God will allow things to happen, but he will protect us. And as long as you have air in your lungs, God has a plan for you and he will provide for you. So, I'm in a tricky situation financially. I'm trying to make sure I have enough to pay rent, which reminds me I need to do a budget here soon. And I'm in a new place. So, this is all very alien to me right now. I'm still trying to figure out my footing, but I know that God has got me. No matter what happens, no matter if I can't pay rent I know that the Lord will provide for me one way or another. I don't know how, but I know that he'll provide, and I know that he'll provide for you too. In the midst of the storm, he's right there with you. You just got to call on him. Turn to him. Say, "Lord, I don't know what you're doing, but I trust you." And apparently my Hot Pocket's now done. I just heard it ding. Anyways, love God, love one another. Winners don't do drugs. Friends don't let friends do drugs either. And Jesus loves you very much. Plain and simple. For God so loved the world. Alright, peace out, y'all.